ByteDance's lawyers can immediately attack the bill, and if they don't overturn it, they can at least draw it out in court for years. Say that doesn't happen, Trump might be elected for president in November around the same time that TikTok is supposed to be banned. And CBS thinks he might use that as a point of leverage over China. Behave, and TikTok gets to stay. Say that doesn't happen. Well, ByteDance just released a new app called TikTok Notes. They can make this app more American friendly or ban proof, and then bring all the users from TikTok onto Notes. Instagram Threads kinda tried to do this already. To be honest, if it comes down to it, I don't know if ByteDance will sell TikTok. TikTok's really valuable, but a lot of its revenue comes from the United States. One thing's for sure, if TikTok gets sold, it'll be sold without the core algorithms, and we'll be scrolling on an inferior platform. Oh, and before you say, I could just use a VPN, go watch Noah Glenn Carter's video. He'll explain exactly why this sort of thing is impossible. Alright, so I'm going to show you exactly how to develop a magnetic creator personality in the next 30 days. I promise you'll get it by the end of this video. It's really simple. First, we got to start with the function of a personality creator, and it is to solve the problems and dreams of their audience under the guise of being a friend, but ultimately at heart being a leader in the perception of their audience. So essentially you become a friend that people look up to as a leader to help them identify their dreams and solve the problems that keep them from getting to those dreams. Really, any channel does this, but what makes it personality content? What makes it personality content is the idea atmosphere and the topic atmosphere, the emotions of your content. And the way you can start integrating these sorts of emotions is to think about the dreams and obstacles of a past you. And you can do this by asking yourself the following questions. What is past you struggling to solve? What is past you fearful of, genuinely terrified of? What scares them? What made them feel bad to think about? What do you wish past you knew? If only I knew this a year ago. What will accelerate past you's progress in terms of reaching these dreams by solving these obstacles? This is going to be the soul of your content. Essentially, you're asking yourself, what gives me positive or negative emotion when I think about it, and how can I help my viewer in the same way? Alright, now we go on to the actual content strategy to become a personality creator, and we're going to do this every day for 30 days. You're going to write for 5 to 10 minutes on one of these topics here that you developed so that you can understand exactly what you think and what you have to say. Then you're going to make a video for your target audience about that topic specifically, helping them again, dreams, obstacles, outcomes. And as you do this, most importantly, you're going to read your comments. Something will resonate with your target audience. When it resonates, they will be happy if you make another video for them. They'll watch it and you'll have a series. It baffles me how some of you have abandoned your dreams over the hypothetical opinions of people whose glutes have literally signed a marriage contract with their couch. And I'm not kidding when I tell you that 99% of people who know about content creation have considered posting content, but only a handful post consistently. So I'm going to go over how to be more consistent when you post. The first thing is to lower your standards until you can get to a point where you are consistently putting out content and you consider yourself a content creator. Internal identification is key. The next thing to know is why you're creating. Why are you creating content? What do you want out of it? What's your end game? And the last thing to figure out is to know how you're going to create to serve people and transform people. This is important because you need to have no illusions about being popular, but you need to know that if you're going to be doing this for the long term, you're going to be serving a higher order purpose by transforming other people and being of service to them. And they may reward you by being loyal to you or buying your products, etc. Once we're consistent, then we start to worry about views, not the other way around. It's a mistake I've made. It's a mistake many of my clients have made. Do not worry about views before consistency, because then you will base the internal identification of yourself as a content creator on whether or not you're actually getting views and not whether or not you're actually creating content. And this will keep you from being consistent for a long enough time to find your signature content format that everybody's going to know you for. In order to get more views, we need to figure out why people are consuming our content, and we need to double down. We need to provide more value inside of the space that we already give, but not just value in terms of more education, but value in terms of why do people come to us? Let's give them a little bit more of that per second. Next, we need to understand the formats on the platform and how we can repurpose them. For example, a couple years ago, 7-second text on screen content was trending. It still is for a couple accounts. We need to look at the formats that are doing well, and we need to look at plugging the value that we're giving into those formats. so that our content is more digestible for people who use the platform and they're more likely to like. And we need to do all of this under the guise of trying to find a signature content format, a content format that gets us a ton of views that we can repost consistently in order to grow. Because if we can do this, people will begin to know us for our content, and then we will know and we will have unlocked exactly what it takes to build an audience on social media. In order to make a living, I help people put these things in order so that they can build audiences that help them grow on social media. If you feel like you could use help, just shoot me a DM, or I've got a free document that shows you how to generate unlimited content ideas. That's something that you could check out as well. All right, if you're still trying to figure out what content to post, what niche to select, watch this video because I am going to absolutely change your life. Okay, I'm not going to change your life, but this is really going to help. I'm going to help you solve the problem. It's a big deal. A lot of people will start creating. They don't know why they're creating or what to create, and they'll create and they'll burn themselves out because they didn't start right in the first place. So let's do this correctly. First thing you're going to ask yourself, why the heck do you want an audience on social media? You can be honest with yourself. I want to be popular. I want to be rich. I want to be famous. I want people to see me. I want attention. Whatever the heck it is, I want to change the world and make it a better place. I want to leverage this tool. All right, once you have all those reasons written out, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself, who do I want to be seen as on social media? Do I want to be an influencer type of person? Do I want to be an instructor type of person, a friend type of person, a vlogger? What kind of content do I see myself making every single day or every week or every other day, whatever you want to do in the future? Once you have the vibes of how you're going to do it, and once you have the way you're going to go about doing it, the next thing you're going to ask yourself is, what kind of content, what topics can I talk about at length forever? And this could be literally anything. You're going to have more than one or two or even three things you could talk about forever. Think about what you learned in school. Think about the things, the interests that you have, the marginal interests that you have. It could be around gaming. It could be around literally anything. So now we have the vibes, we have the way in which we want to present, and we have the area, a couple areas around what we want to create. Now you're going to solve those areas for how monetizable they are. Say you're interested in music, you're interested in e-com, you're interested in puppies. You might want to forget about the music real quick and think about, let's say, reviewing e-commerce products for puppies or something like that. A better way to go about this is to think, okay, if I was someone who had a lot of money to pay this person who's creating this type of content, what would I want them to do for me? One example could be, I want this person to create product ads for me. I want this person to create UGC. I want this person to teach me how to get good pet products or whatever the heck it is. You've got your overall vibe. You've got the way in which you're going to create. You've got a series of topics, a set of topics, and you've selected a couple topics that are monetizable, ways in which you see other people making money. Now your job is research. You're going to go into the market. You're going to look at people who are doing that specifically. You're going to look up your keywords for that. You're going to look for influencers, let's say, that are inside of the, let's say, dog e-commerce product section. You're going to start saving their content. You're going to start getting a feel for what content does well, what content doesn't do well. And if you want a better way to come up with content ideas, make sure to just grab this document. The most important part of this whole process is to start with why. Know exactly how your social media page is going to pay you, how it's going to fulfill the dream that you have when you start. Don't solve that question. Let that question sit for later on. Have a clear idea of how you're going to make money or how you're going to achieve your dreams with that specific social media page. Hey guys, I think I've done you a disservice by not talking about how important it is to have fun. Levi, that's not what these